Hello everybody and welcome to an episode of Blink and You'll Miss It. Wait a minute. Not an episode, a chat. You know what I mean? It's not as if we're on live telly here or something. First of all, I'd like to thank everybody that's been watching the videos lately and commenting and subscribing. It's good you are doing that, you know what I mean? And last year, when I started the channel up last January, ended up going through to about May or June, then I went off the rails and doing quite well. I'd built up to 12,000 subscribers. But as I've mentioned in a couple of videos, the last couple of months we've kind of come back, had a kind of a bump in the road, well, a right bump in the road, so I never got ran over. The bump I had, to tell you the truth, I got mad with it. I've got control on cocaine, on sleepers and drink and psychotic episodes, the lot, you know what I mean? But I don't even know what I'm going to talk about tonight, but first of all, up here in Glasgow today, what a sunny day, brilliant. We had 3 weeks or 4 weeks of sunshine in June, and everybody was like, yes, we're going to have a belter of a summer, and the usual, it just faded away. But see, when the sun does come out in Glasgow, everybody comes out as well. Everybody's wee house rats. see when the sun's not out, everybody's just in the house. The sun's out, everybody's out. You get into city centre, Merchant City, anywhere, every beer garden or table outside's all full and everybody's out enjoying themselves. If we had this weather here, nobody'd need to go to Spain or Portugal or Brazil. A few people has been to Brazil, you know what I mean? But we'll not say any more about that. But Glasgow's a great city. So the day, I spent my day just to say what I'd done the day, you know what I mean? Because it's supposed to be Blink, you miss it. So I went a walk today with Ashley, my girlfriend, and we 4.5 month son. Yes, 4.5 months. And mother, daughter, 4 years, she went with her grandparents for the weekend yesterday. So me and Ashley went out to Kelvin Grove Park and had a good walk through there, and ended up to Great Western Road. But we were walking through the park. There's a wee kind of a bit as you walk near the skating bit for about 10-15 minutes for there. There's a wee kind of outdoor cafe just in for the Philadelphia, so the chip shop. There's a wee kind of a cafe down there. Trying to think the name of it. Indeep, it used to be called, I think it's so. So we went to try and get a wee table there. I was going to have a shandy, but it was busy. So we ended up carrying the pram up the stairs in Great Western Road, looking for somewhere I could have this shandy and the Wayne could have his milk, and Ashley was having a Red Bull. But as everybody knows, why is Ian having a shandy? Well, wait a minute, you're supposed to be in recovery. Well, I was in recovery, just to give you an update. Last year, as I told you, it was chaos, madness, mental, just right out of control. And I don't even know how I'm still here, but I've said that for years and years. Your mum must be up there looking down on me, big Margot. But I went along to Great Western Road, found a wee pub, sat outside, had a shandy, the way and get fed and that. Then we went back, carried the pram back down, just at the Kelvin Bridge subway. So that was us. Then we came back, got a wee Saturday night curry and just chilled. But a lot of people has been asking, because I went off air last June, July. I don't think I've really explained it fully to people, you know what I mean? Not that I needed to anyway, you know what I mean? Because that channel I started, it wasn't for money or whatever, it was just a wee hobby to talk about my life. But since I've started the channel, I've not really all the podcasts and that I've done it with other people and that as well. I've not even touched on half the things, you know what I mean? But I might get there. But as I say, I've not done this for any monetary benefit or whatever, or monetised. Just a kind of a hobby, but last year just went mental and that was it. So now I'm kind of back, but I was doing wee short videos and the last couple of months came back and somebody says to me, they went, oh, dear mate, and all that, but what's happening? You've been doing short videos, what's happened to the long ones? And I kind of replied and just went, well, I'm just not in that place yet, mate, to do that. But talking about that, when I kind of crash landed last year, which I did, heavily, I ended up getting myself sorted last September. Started going to meetings and all that, became anonymous. And I stuck to it, by the way. I started at the beginning of September. I actually remember it was the 3rd of September, and Rangers and Celtic were kind of a playing. They'd just been pumped that day, you know what I mean? So it's a one I never forget back on the drink. And I was supposed to go up to my pals pub up in Uddingston. Jamie's watching. How you doing, mate? Hope you and your wee ma's good. Jamie's up staying with his ma, looking after her just now up in Aberdeenshire. She's not been keeping too well. How you doing, Mrs. Alexandra? A wee hello fiend for Glasgow. I hope you enjoyed that book I gave Jamie. You probably went, oh, pile of shit. But no, Jamie's a good guy. He's been good to me, you know what I mean? And he's doing the right thing as well. Up there looking after his wee ma. It's good on you, Jamie boy. So, my recovery, I know I keep bouncing back, and I didn't know how I was going to do that tonight, but I felt a wee bit confident in all that. And for all you out there saying, because you've probably took a wee cheeky line. No, I've not. I've took a couple of shandies. But it's nothing to do with anybody anyway, because I'm no longer in recovery or whatever, so it's nothing to do with anybody, you know what I mean? So it's up to me what I want to do. It's my life, and nobody will tell me how to live it except me. A few people have, like my good pal Jerry. Yes, Jerry, how you doing? You mentioned Jerry, no, it's the one and only for the Gorbals. And to clarify a few things, everybody used to say to me years ago, how do you know Jerry and that? And you seem to be good pals. I went, well, Jerry stayed in Proven Mill and that. And I went, no, you never met Jerry, he's a Gorbals guy. I went, well, there's a wee gap. Jerry and his family, I think his ma was looking for a house at the Gorbals years and years ago. A wee back in the 70s, you know what I mean? Shows you how old we are. Jerry's not angered with me fucking his age away. He's 60 this year, by the way, but looks 50. Looking terrific. So his wee ma was looking for a house with a garden, and she's going to get one. It was Castlemilk, so she's got a chance of one up in Greenwich Street in Proven Mill. So Jerry was up there for a few years with his brothers and his sister and that, his wee ma and dad. And we get right good pals. We used to play football. Jerry's a cracking player. I'm shite. I can't play football, but it's taking part's the main thing, isn't it? So the reason I'm mentioning Jerry, because a lot of people don't mention Jerry. Jerry's, he'll not mind me saying this, Jerry's done brilliant the last 15 or 16 years in recovery. You know, I mean, he's done fantastic. And I was going to meetings with him last year, and he was helping me out. Me and my other brother Alan had a bad problem as well, still has. So Alan went into the rehab, he went into Turning Point, and I kind of had done it outside. And I was going to see Alan, I said, it's harder to do it out here than in there, and he's going, right. He's in for 6 weeks. So me and Jerry are going to meetings and all of that, and Jerry's a fantastic speaker, by the way. I used to say to him, Jerry, how did you know start a podcast up? It's like, what am I going to say and all that? You're the one that's been fucking done, and you've done this and that. I went, aye. I says, Jerry, I've been caught. You haven't. Sorry for sticking your new out. You've not been caught. Jerry's got a lot of good stories. And I used to laugh at him. See him used to go to the meetings and all. I used to go right and I used to go, fuck it. And he used to go, you're doing a podcast? I says, Jerry, I'm only looking into a camera. I says, mate, you're sitting talking to 50 people at Saturday Night Fever, which was the church that Jerry was kind of running with other people in the Godbows, and we were going to these other meetings at Motherwell and everywhere, and Beeve and all that as well. The lassie through there was brand new. She wasn't getting anybody to go there, and me and Jerry went through, me and Jerry, a couple other boys, and the lassie was grateful because I think we were the only people that turned up. But Jerry in the chair, Jerry's brilliant. I used to be like, he's fucking great. And we went to one of the meetings in Kilmarnock. Big shout out to all the Kilmarnock people. I think it was in that estate where they done the scheme off bank. And Jerry's, no, his cousin, I mean, no, his uncle. Jerry's his uncle. And Johnny's a good guy. And Johnny shared this one night. He's fantastic as well. So anyway, back to Jerry. So, all the place. So Jerry used to do these talks and all. He didn't do the same talk all the time. And I used to laugh at it a couple of times. He went to the, you don't mind me saying this, you know what I mean? He used to say to the group of people who was in these meetings or Glasgow and out with, they'd come to the back and they go, oh, was that bad? My God, boss. But we're talking a way back 20 years ago. He says, I would go to that Jerry fucking Dahmer's fucking door, that serial killer that fucking killed about 16 or 20 people. He says, I would go to his door for a fucking gram of gear. And everybody used to laugh, because at these meetings and all that, it's not just all doom and gloom and people going, oh, people share it, and that's why I like going to the meetings. It wasn't just to hear all this old people. It was amazing, some of the people, the way they spoke. I've always been into crime and all my life, and I'm not that great at it. But some of these people were bus drivers and joiners, and I'd sit and listen to them, and I'd go, for fuck's sake, they're after fucking nuts. I thought it was only fucking people like me and all that. It's been done with shootings and fucking bank robberies, but these guys are another fucking level. And I was like that. So, not surprised, but all the people used to speak about it. They done it with a bit of humour, but I kind of like to do when I do these podcasts. I don't like to go and go try and put a wee bit of humour into it and laugh, because you're still here. As my wee man used to say to me all the time, and I never ever listened way back in my 20s, and that she used to go like that. She'd show me on the right path. She'd go, listen, never mind all this, try to get money and all that. Because I was taking all the drugs and drink and all, and going to Ultratech and Maxwell Plums and the boat everywhere in the tune and all that. You get money, you just want to boot all the time. The 80s was great. So my wee man would go like that. It's better to have your health than wealth. I just go, I need fucking bother. You having a cold or something, but I'm not thinking about now. I'm a lot older, I don't know if I'm any wiser, but a lot of people suffer bad health and all that. Then we get old under 50s, early 60s, and most people I speak to, most of them as a way back says to them, try to guide them, but you wouldn't listen to your man. I mean, just taking your own thing. Same as I went and tried to do that bank when I was 30 and all that. I had a pub at the time and all that, and had a house in Spam Valley, fucking wee caravan up in Mansfield. I always wanted more, and when Michael Healy showed up, and God rest Michael, he's a legend, he's dead now. He showed up, you down, do this, turn 6 million, get $1 million, I'm like, brilliant. I'm not even thinking about it, consequences or nothing. I'm like, right, get the money, move to Spain, fucking be like, you're going to be like Carlito, or even who's other, Tony Montana, be like him, just get out there, get a nightclub and just fucking fucking kilo of gear and all that and just go wild and party and that's all I was thinking. At that time, 30 and before that, I was just party. Even when I had the pub up in Swinburne, it was after hours we would sit there at 5 and 6 and all that, and it'd just be partying, you know what I mean? But before I go any further, I'm trying to send out a message to the young team, or the youth of today, you know what I mean? They're all mental, you know what I mean? When I was younger, I was mental, but by God, the young team now they are crazy. When I got out 22 years ago, after I'd done 10 and a half years, I went, after a few weeks, I'd been up with Vicky's back to parties, and I'd say to my pal, that young team are mental. I'm like, you're mental. They went, Ian, you're giving them too much respect. You're in there talking. I went, what do you want me to do? They went, they're only young boys. I said, they young boys would fucking stab you. I could see it in like a few weeks. So we back 2001, 2002, after being 10 and a half years, and I could see that the young team then, I said, they're fucking nuts, they'd stab you, looking at you. So my pals were that, so I've always tried to give everybody a bit of respect, no matter who it is, a young team or whatever, nobody's any different. Somebody, even 10 million or 20 million, whatever, or the hardest person, I'll treat them the way I'll treat any young boy or whatever I'll meet, you know what I mean? So, on that, what I'm trying to say is, what I'm going to be talking about in this podcast, not an episode, a chat, is the young team, if they're watching this, see at the time, it's good, right, I'm not going to lie, right, see at the time, and not everybody will say this, see at the time, see if you're not getting caught, and you're earning money, and you're going to cruise, and you go on holidays, and you get the big motor and the flats, and you're buying all the drugs for all the lasses, and fuck knows what, the bags, and what I say, but nah, that's nothing. I'm not going to lie, because I lied to sit here, and it was good at the time, but there is an end game, and the end game is 99.5%. Yeah, it's me included. Everybody that chooses that life, it's going to come to a sticky end. You're going to get caught, or something's going to happen. No, I mean, something is going to happen, and it might even result in you getting killed, by the way. Because if you're doing all this criminality and all that, you're going to come up against people that's saying, here, you're in my territory, or you're at dancings and they see you stood in the corner and go, oh, look at him, Yanks, he's this and that. Because we used to get that years ago, and people get jealous. So, and you've got to back yourself up. And for a young age, I always did back myself up, so I did. And I'm not sure enough to saying that. Involved in serious violence. I'm surprised I'm not dead. And my wee ma, there I'm jumping away again, my wee ma came into full sitting after about 5 years. And after the missus had left me for a millionaire, which I was trying to get, by the way. And she brought my son down, he was only 5 at the time. No, 7. I'd been in 5 years. He was 2, went away, so I'm in 5 years. And my ma brought him down, and he always thought it was a big pub. I was in full sitting at the time. And this was a high security jail in York. All sorts of murderers and IRA and just top guys from London, just whatever you call them, I don't know, gangsters, whatever, mostly robbers. And my mum went, tell him where you're in. To put you in the picture, Darrow up to the age of 7, for the 5 year I was in, he was 2 when I got to jail in 91, he thought I was in the big pub. And every time my man and the ex would try to get him to went, no, I'm not going, no. So they had to go to Woolworths. It shows you how long ago it is, in the early 90s. They had to go to Woolworths and get my toy and all that. And go into all these jails. But I'm in full sitting at the time, and my ma says, when Sheila had left, and that didn't end well. And that didn't end well either with the millions. Got a few holidays in the house, but it never ends well. So ma says, tell him. And I went, Darryl, I says, what do you think this is? He went, oh, you're in the big pub and all that, and you be coming home shortly, and blah, 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 blah. And he used to see me get away after every visit, and it's heartbreaking, you know what I mean? So I used to say to him, I was in the big pub, and he used to go, when are you coming back? His young mind, and I'd go at him, I'll be home next week and all that. This is going on for years. So my ma says, I think you better tell him. And I says, listen, have you heard of a prison or a jail? He went, aye. He'd been watching all these videos with the guy my ma used to get with James, kind of step there. He'd watch all these American prison things and all that, and I think Daryl would be playing on his Xbox at the time, Grand Car Theft Auto or something, and all these mad things. So I says, he went, I'm in where? I says, you're in jail, prison. He went, right away, his wee mind is 7. And he came down, he had the Man United talk on, good on him. But before that, a year before, he came down with a C.R. Smith Celtic talk, and I went, what's this? He pulled his jumper up, and I went, sell him. Oh, a farmer will sell it. I went, doesn't pay your wage. I went, okay. So he's well like that, so prison, I went, no, you're not. So this is in full sitting there this afternoon. I'm in 5 years. And I'm just trying to give a wee kind of a aspect to what it's like. If any of you young ones get the nicknames about kids and all that, and they've got to come and see them, they realise you're in the jail, and it's no nice, because they keep thinking you're coming home. So anyway, get back to the story and stop keep wandering. But that's what the podcast is all about, me anyway. I can talk anything I want and just wander away, because I'm not getting paid, and I'm going to sit here all boring. I try and put a smile on my face, and I've always tried to do that. Because if you're going to do this, I wish you just come on me and just give a good story. And good. So now I'm trying to educate the youth. I'm saying that educate the youth, but what am I doing? I'm not going to schools, I'm not going to youth club. I've never been to, I've never spoke to any of the young ones. It's just kind of a on here and kind of a on TikTok for a wee bit. So a lot of people know, and just kind of getting wee messages and just saying don't go down this path, because it's not going to end well. There's going to be a lot of lonely nights spent. Your time starts when that door shuts at 8 or 9 o'clock at night, and so what have you got then to think about? Well, you might have a girlfriend. Obviously you've got a mother, aunties, sisters, nieces. It's all about family, isn't it? Everybody is all about family. At the end of the day, it's all about family. Look at Ian here. All about family. I'm going to have course here again, but I can do what I want. It's my show, my chat. Who would have thought at 58 that I'd have met a lassie in a sunbed shop, and a lot younger than me, talking. Anyway, I had the first date. It didn't go too well at the, where was that? That pub near the Count House, just from the corner, can't remember it. It was all police anyway. First date, I didn't even kiss them, it was all guns out. Oh, the anchor line, all guns out, no, that, you got a gun on you. I was like, oh, no, if I did it'd be firing blanks. Well, that was a lie, because that's what I'm trying to say. At 58, family, I've got a wee lassie at 4 milli, and it's 62 this year. Another wee one, Matthew, who is 4.5 months. I wouldn't have thought in my wildest dreams that I'd have 2 kids in my age. I thought I'd have been dead and buried at that age. So hey ho, you don't know what's round the corner. So that's what I'm trying to say. It is all about family, and me, a boy and a lassie, they're in their 30s, never saw them growing up, and this time it's been great, and with Millie and wee Matthew, and I'm really enjoying it this time, you know what I mean? And just trying to go along this straight path myself without preaching to everybody else on this camera. But what I'm trying to say to the young team, when you're behind that door, as I mentioned, you're going to think about all your family. And see if you get a long time even if you get 5 years, it's a long time, because years ago I used to get 6 months when I was a boy, 9 months in Berlin. I used to be sitting in the workshops and sitting with a cup of tea break, and I look at boys that are now doing 5 and 7 years and 10 years, and I used to go back to myself, fucking hell, how can they do that? And I'd think of all the weekends, because I'm a boy then, early 20s, I'm thinking of going to Ultratech and Zanzibar and all the places in the townages all know, the Savoy. I'm saying you've got to be on all the weekends. But little did I realise, I know I'm smiling because I can smile about it because I've come through the other end. Little did I realise that when I reached 30, I was going to be doing 5 year, 10 year, 15 year. I was going to be doing 17 and a half year. And so how do you think I felt? Oh, I'm going to tell you how I felt. Not good at all. Went to do the bank, I'm not getting into it. It was a failure, but didn't come off. At least tried. If somebody's got to get caught, and unfortunately we get caught. But when you go to do something like that, you don't expect to get caught, you know what I mean? So you've got to face up to the punishment. And I was on the run for the bank, I've escaped, arrested a Chinese restaurant, done my gun, 2.5 years. Then I get 16 years at the Old Bailey and knocked into 15 years at appeal. So that 10 year I was in for 30, I was like, oh my God, how am I going to get through this? I always remember being sentenced, it was in Belmarsh. There's Belmarsh and there's a high security unit, and we were all in there. We were deemed too dangerous and too whatever, and even though we were failed bank robbers, we had a bit of history of violence and being dangerous up in Glasgow. And the two Michaels it was done was Michael Carroll and Michael Healy. Unfortunately, they aren't here. Michael had a battle with kidney disease. He died about 10 years ago. And Michael Healy, sadly, he died about 4 years ago. So there's two boys. And when I think about these two boys, I actually feel blessed and fortunate that I'm still here, you know what I mean? When they're no longer with us. And I don't know how I'm still here, but just say with the grace of God or whatever. When your time's up, your time's up. So, getting that sentence, I had to buckle and me and Mick Kelly, to tell you the truth, sentence the next day, we're walking around Belmarsh, the high security unit, and me and Mick were going, oh, when's that fucking tunnel going to end? I went, but Michael had a lot longer to do than me. We came out the Old Bailey handcuffed together, and I went, fucking hell, I says, Mick, you're doing longer than the train robbers. To put you in a picture, Michael's doing 10 years in shots, he escaped in a butcher's van. The only guy that actually escaped, you hear people escape from prison, they're in an open prison, they walk out the door, but Michael actually escaped in the van. And so you get caught 3.5 years later, get 2 years for the escape, and the judge at the Old Bailey, Sir Lawrence Verney, the highest judge down there, says to Michael, when we were getting sentenced that time, that was way back in August 93, so 30 years ago. It's like yesterday, time just goes, and remember that, kids, time, before you know it, your life's coming to, it's not coming to an end, but it just speeds right by. And it's no good being in the jail, you know what I mean? And most people, their girlfriends and all that, see, the only people, they leave, the only people that stand by you is your mother and that, and sister, my mother and my sister Tracy and that, they used to send the £10 every week and the wee stamps and send Evening Times and the records, wee things like that, you appreciate. And I've so many people in the jail that could see it happening. He used to come and sit with us, I'd been in a few years, and they'd sit with us, come back to the phone and go, what's wrong? And they go, oh, she's no in and all of that. And I'd go, and the guy had been in 2 or 3 years and go, he's going to get what I got. And what was that? A rude awakening. Because I'm thinking my missus at the time is, that you think that you miss, oh, she's only one. But see, to tell you the truth, see the woman you've got and you're doing a big sentence like that, now I know and I've been through it or I can talk about it, they're actually doing a prison sentence as well. Let's face it, lads, they're doing it, so you can't expect him to stick. You see, you get caught, you got your head down. I'm not saying everybody does it, it's fuck about with other people, but the majority of women, they just go, I've had enough. And I can't blame them. So that's the other thing you look at for a young team. You're bug fucking off and you phone them, well, who should we, somebody I know and all that, but that's it. But I mean Michael that day, we were like, when's this tunnel going to end? And fortunately, it did end. It did end. 10.5 years later, I came out. To tell the truth, and I'm going to be frank here to the young team, I was in my cell in the high security Nicks in England, first year, 2 year, 3 year, 4 year, 5 year. And I was going, oh, I used to walk up and down my cell, and I'm being truthful, and I used to say, please God, let this sentence get in quick, I'll never be in trouble again. Because I couldn't see the end of it. I'd only done 18 months, and I'd went up to nearly 18 years. And it is a lonely place in prison. I'm telling you that now, it's lonely. See when your doors opened and all that, you put on a face. See when that door opens in the morning, the door opens after lunchtime and after tea time to go out for a nighttime association. Most of the people listening to this that's been in the jail, they'll tell you, you're putting on a face. Inside you're crumbling. Going like, when's this going to end? And everything's going through you, and what's she doing out there? And you're a fucking bag of nerves, and you could be taking panic attacks and anxiety, which I did, but you don't tell anybody that. Because if you say to your pal and all that, it could be my boy from London or Manchester, Liverpool, whatever, go, oh, look at you, you're weak. So when that door opens every time, you've got to go out there and just put on a face, aye, that's how he's doing it, and act all gallus and all that. But then you get back to your cell at 9 o'clock, it's just, what can I say? See, even if you had a phone, or, I never even had a telly for 8 years, you know what I mean? Used to read books and all that. But nowadays I've got phones, showers in the cell. I don't know if it's an Xbox because I'm into things like that. But all that, but see, to tell you the truth, it's not even, what was that, even having a phone, right? You phone your missus, what are you going to do? And this is no fair, this is about, are you going to phone her every night, every 2 fucking minutes after 12 to make sure she's in the house? It's all about trust, and there's not a lot of trust when it comes to this sentence. That's how I'm saying it. Young team of the day, with all the flash cars, going to Dubai and doing this and that, and I'm a bit of a hypocrite because when I had the money, I travelled abroad and everything else. But it does all crumble. But wait and I'll tell you this story. And this is no for use to, because I'm trying to be truthful here. I'm telling you the story, that big sentence I go, that should have been enough. Done 10.5 years, nailed in prison, straight out the door, fucking down the road like a B-lister, a C-lister, fucking gangster, whatever the papers were calling it. And a big fucking limo, down to my ma's, Provincial Black Hill, in the papers, 10 years stretch, and I'm going, oh, this is great, and all that. Fucking car party shots, and a fucking glass of champagne. The governor walked by and went, Mr. McDonald's, good luck on your release. And I went, fuck you. And paper the next day, it says I stuck my 2 fingers up to the law. I never just stuck up to the governor because I never got any parole or whatever. But it takes a lot for me to be defeated. And I didn't think this, because as I told you, doing that big sentence, first few years, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, oh God, please. But see, after it got to, say about 6.5, 7, 8, I was walking up and down that cell cocky, going, oh, it's not that long to go now. And I'm in the gym and I'm in the rowing machine and really, really fit and running and all that. And just to go to the gym with a boy, get really good on the rowing machine, boy Skip, Malcolm O'Halloran. I heard he's back in the nick. He was a really good guy. He get 24 years for about 100 banks, and they got it reduced to 18 years. So me and him used to get in the gym, and everybody used to come by and go, oh, look at you using at the gym, pussies and all that. And go, ah, you used to go on it. Like, what? So you used to go on it. So me and Skip would do 40,000 metres in... No, 40,000 metres, no, that's a lie. We'd do 10,000 metres in 40 minutes, 4 minutes, 1,000, which is no bad going. I know there's a lot of super athletes and all that can bat it, but we used to do 40 minutes, 10,000 metres, 4 minutes, 1,000, and we come after knackered, know what I mean? So people would walk by and go, like, look at you using it. I'd go like that and put in that rowing machine and go, what? I says, go on that and just pull that in for 2 or 3 minutes. And after 2 or 3 minutes, they'd go that, and I'd walk them into the toilet and they'd be like, I'd be like, taking that's for pussies now, but they're still trying to get their breath back, and I'm in the toilet going like that. Tell me this. Does your insides feel as if you've just fucking been up the runway of Gatwick in a fucking aeroplane about 10,000 miles an hour? Oh, there you go, call us pussies. But anyway, I know that's me going back and forward. So I'm getting a bit cocky now. And it got to 10 years, 10 and a half years. Got out, told you in the limo, back to my ma's, C-lister fucking Hollywood fucking celebrity, whatever. Thank the miss of that, up in Vicky's, taking her dancing and just get put back in the jail after a year. What did I get put back in for? Fuck all. Strathclyde police at the time compiled a report on me. It says there was 6 allegations that one of them was going to flood Edinburgh with drugs, and the other one was going to get somebody done in, and it was just all bollocks, know what I mean? So I was at the Kelvin Hall gym. This was back in February 2003. I'd been out 15 months partying, not my pals just go, hey, I went, I'm doing fuck all. I'm saying I'm partying. They went, what about money? I says, as long as I've got enough to go to Vicky's. But that's the way I want to do it in my life, come out and party. But see now, people like that, they go, Ian, you could have come out and you could have went to fucking Marbella, you could have all the contacts you made down there, you could have went to Marbella and okay then, I could have. But see if I would have, I'm the type of guy that like to party. Do you know, I think if I went to Marbella or Glasgow or whatever, I'd probably kill myself at fucking Marbella. I'm surprised I never done it here. So that was my choice, and the drugs had a lot to do with it, without a doubt. When I get out, coming out I was fresh, fit, I had the world at my feet, but I decided I was just going to party, and I was taking Eckies and loads of coke and back to parties, and I was done in, you know what I mean? So when I did get the recall in February 2003, I went to Shots. I heard the police were looking for me. First of all, I was at the Kelvin Hall gym. I came out, my brother Gary phoned and I went, oh, the police have been up here. They says you're getting recalled to prison. That's about 10 o'clock in the morning. I've got my bag walking up Byers Road, and I went, recalled to prison? They went, I says, what's wrong? They went, oh, they were up here with guns and all that. And at the time I was seeing a lassie in Kirton Tillett, and they were at her door as well, they were at my ma's. So they made a blunder, I don't know how they never just got me in one of the houses. So it was in the paper and all that, front of the paper, like Blinks on the run and all that, and I'm in Spain, drinking champagne. So I decided after 5 days, I went, right, I don't want my man, everybody getting hassle. Try and say this story quick, because it's all been regurgitated a few times this season. So that was Shots, and before I went up, a lassie for the Daily Record, Cara Page, got in touch with her, and I said, I want to hand myself in. She came up. I was just signing Shots at the time, and it was like, welcome to Shots, and it had the date, I think it was the 19th of February 2003. So I got a photo in front of there, and we were at the gate, and I says to the guy at the gate, and I went, what is it, you up to see somebody? I went, no, I want to hand myself in. I went, what? Then he looked at me and went, oh. He says, you were in the paper the other day. He says, you're on the run now in Spain. I went, no. I says, can I see the governor? No. He went, oh, right. So at the time it was Audrey Park, and she came down, and me and Cara went in, and I says, who's that? I says, my sister. And after a couple of minutes, she's like, that's not your sister. I says, we saw you getting a photo took in front of that sign and all that. So we took her to go out, and I begged her. Who begs somebody to get into a top security nick? Me. She says, what is it you want? I says, well, the police are looking for me. I says, I've come out of here. I says, and I want to get back in here. At the time, I got this kind of idea for Paul Ferris because he'd been recalled the year before, and he knew the police were looking for him. Instead of handing his cell in, he drove down to the prison he got out of, HM3 Franklin, and they just took him in. So I went up and says that to Audrey, and she's like, well, wait a minute, this is just not a bed and breakfast. You can't just come up here and say I want to get in. I says, I'm begging you, blah, blah, blah. She was saying, no. And I kept going on and on. She just said, right, I made a decision, keep you in, blah, blah, blah. So anyway, kept in, I'm not getting into it too much again, for a year. And see what I done, and this is what I'm trying to say to everybody. Do you know, I think that 10.5 year, then 14 months been back in the recall would have been enough to get me out of crime. And I'm just going to tell you straight, because I'm not going to beat about the bush, I'm just going to tell it the way it was. Because it doesn't end well anyway still. But I must have been insane by to get back into crime. So after the recall, I get back out on the 1st of April. So the night before I went out, my cell, I was walking up and down again as you do, and I was saying to myself, right, done 10.5 years for a failed bank robbery, get put back in the jail for 14 months for Strathclyde Police, for Police Scotland now obviously, for fuck all. I says, you know what, I'm going out on April Fool's Day and I'm not fooling about. Why did I say that? I don't know, my head must have been warping about. What do you mean you're not fooling about? What I meant is, I'm getting back into serious crime. I want all the stuff everybody else has got, which I tried to get way back years and years ago with the robbery. In the year I was out, I never done that, and so I says, no, I'm going to have another go. Which was insane, but that's the way I was. I said, I wanted all the flash cars, the flats abroad, and just wanted to be a show off. So I came out, but I kind of learned, I went, right, if you're going to get back into stuff, do not tell any cunt. So before you knew it, I had a flat in the West End, a nice car, the caravan down Craig Tower, somebody else, we were on holidays all over the world, and it was just splash of cash and boat flats and fuck knows what. But then, what happened? Yes, that's what I'm trying to tell you, it all crumbles. Had a 5.5 year run, Jack the lad, even got a car that says Blink on it. Me and Mick Keeley even went down to London to see a couple of people. He booked a hotel at Chelsea on the ground. And the next day I went, Mick, fuck, Celtic are playing here. So I went to Chelsea thing, man, I got a tote made, Blink one, and I'm walking about to Stamford Bridge. So way back 2006, 2007, and everybody's like, I mean, people like, let's get this tote on. They went, oh, I thought you were a Celtic supporter. I went, no, Rangers. And so anyway, show off, everything. I remember Mick and his brother, after I'd had the flat in the West End, I'd moved up to the Hugginfield Lock. So I was like to myself, right, I'm going to move for the West End for the parties. I was running parties all the time for 2 years. It was come in, have a line and a wine, sit down. I'm the star of the show, and I'd walk up and down, and nobody was allowed to talk. I was like a tyrant. This big Nello, I'll tell you. He stayed there for 5 months, so you witnessed it all. How you doing, Nello? Hope you're good. So, a couple of flats up in Hugginfield Lock. I went, I'm up to the bird sanctuary. Quiet life. Quiet life. Within about 6 weeks, it was just party resumed. What happened? I'm not getting it too deep. Something else happened. Me, a gangland war. I get slashed. Bomb under the car, which was a bit fucking much, not having a bomb. And that was my kind of a wee empire crumbled, you know what I mean? It was 48 years of age. So I'd done the big sentence, done a recall, got out, get back into crime. I was doing everything. no getting caught, I wasn't telling people. But it came to the end, not through my criminal activities, through a gangland carry on violence. And that was it. And the police were right on to me, by the way. I got lifted. I was supposed to be the victim. Police all came to my flat a few days later. My pal was with me for Royston Star. And okay, right, what is it? I put it up to see what's happened the last week. I went, we're here to arrest you. I went, I need bother. So I get fucking arrested. I'm not getting to it. I get out. So I was a kind of a marked man for Strathclyde police and Glasgow gangsters. But I was still of the opinion of not giving a fuck. For that judge sentenced me to the 16 years if I was 30 and all that other stuff when I was younger. She's like, I'm not fucking scared. People were saying, are you still staying in that flat up at the Havenfield Lock, penthouse and that? And I went, what about it? She went, that's an assassin's paradise. I went, well, I says, they've all got houses and all, but I was never go to houses. But I'm not going to get into all that shit, might on a later date. For there it just crumbled because the police were right on to me. And water. But it doesn't matter what I'm drinking because I'm no longer in recovery. So saying it's a Saturday night, I'm not going to lie. A little wine. Sure most days will be doing that as well tonight. A lot of the young team will be sitting up tonight for tomorrow. And what's happening tomorrow? Rangers and Celtic. My team, Rangers, who get pumped the other night, sorry about the language, but they did with PSV over in Amsterdam. It went to, they were 2-0 up, PSV, Tavernier scored, went 2-1, and I was like, oh, we're coming back, you know what I mean? But I went to the toilet, it wasn't even a wee minute, came back and it was 3-1, 5-1, so hopefully we'll put on a show tomorrow. But if we don't, and I've always said to everybody, a lot of people take the football far too seriously, and I could see their point in that. But I've always said they don't pay your wages. They don't, you know what I mean? And I'll go to another wee story for the way back for the football, because this hammered at home about they don't pay your wages. So I stayed, I was born Springburn, we moved up to probably Blackhill, it was 6. I think it was about 10, 2-bedroom house at the time up in Dumpelia Street. And me, Gary and Alan, 2 brothers, we had bunk beds and a single bed. And my dad was a worker, no, he wasn't a crook, my ma, she was a worker as well. And Saturday night, 8 o'clock or something, we heard my dad greeting. We went, for fuck's sake, one of my brothers says, I think Granny McDonald's did. I says, right troops, I was the oldest, I'll go and investigate, you know what I mean? So I went out, peeped out the door, so if my dad saw me, he's a clump. And that's my dad was a strict discipliner, and most of the boys should have the new, you know what I mean? But what can you say? So anyway, saw my man in the kitchen, she was pouring out Eldorado and 4 Crown Sherry, as elder ones know what that is. And I says to my ma, I didn't realise what she was pouring in the sink. I went, what's happening? We heard my dad greeting and all that. And she went, I went, is Granny McDonald dead? She went, Granny McDonald? She went, she just looked at the flare and she went, no, his team Rangers get beat today. I went, right, she went, get in your bed. I went, for fuck's sake, you know what I mean? So into the room, I've jumped to the top bunk. So I've says to the troops, I says, Granny McDonald's no dead. I says, I just saw my man there. I says, just pouring his drink out and all that, and he was still greeting. And he says, what's he greeting for? I says, Rangers get beaten. They went, what? So after that, my wee young mind, I just lay back. And I had loads of sweeties under my pillow. I was telling the 2 brothers, I could peel an orange in my pocket, and I was like, trying to talk, and I went, well, what about a thing? I just lay back and drifted away into a wee dream. I started thinking about that, and I went, So your team gets beat and you're sitting there greeting, you're a grown man. I says, there must be more to life than that. So that's how I've had this kind of a attitude. People say, but you're a right Rangers supporter. Up in Blackhill it was O'Selley at the time. My dad used to walk along the street singing the sash and I'd like, get him, we'd grab him in. So that's how I've always kind of had the attitude. See, for that night, it kind of ingrained in me. I was lying back thinking my wee mind and going, there must be more to life than that. Your team gets beaten, you get fuck that. Fuck that, you know what I mean? So I've always been a Rangers supporter, and up in Blackhill with my pals used to try and change me, but it wasn't happening, it was ingrained. It was ingrained in me. Most of my family are all Celtic, all my pals, so and I used to go to pubs and all that, and pals that were Celtic supporters used to like, we're away home, nearly greeting, I'd be like, and the Rangers, I'd be staying there for the fucking party, for the wines and the lines. Remember, this is my old life, youth of today. So that's how I've never really been thinking with the football. But I'm not gutted if Rangers get beat. If they get beat tomorrow, they get beat, I'm not great about it. You know what I mean? But Brendan Rodgers hasn't got off to a great start anyway, has he? Let's be truthful. And coming back a second time, I don't think it works. But guy must be getting a few quid back. That's it. It's up to him, isn't it? So that's what's kind of happened. I didn't even know what I was going to speak about tonight. I went into this mad rant about crime and don't do this and do that. I didn't even know I was going to get as deep as I've not even right in deep because, well, I have. Who does a big sentence? Nearly 18 years, over 10 years. So that should have frightened me. Should have frightened me. Boston should have frightened me. No, never. Proof school, never. But as I say, I wanted all the luxuries. And see, to tell you the truth, guys, if the young ones are looking today, or whenever if you're going to watch it or whatever, or your mum and dad's going to watch it, see what I've found out. All the crime I've been into, you know, and I've had all the luxuries and all that. Do you know, there's a lot of people I know, people that's heating engineers and joiners and all that, and they've all got big houses and fucking flat in Spain and all get kids and all that. It's all brought up great and they've had a great life. In times that them having a straight job to being a crook, it's just not worth it. Even starting off in McDonald's, I know a lot of people, I can see the young man's pointing in and they go, I'm going in fucking McDonald's. But are you going into McDonald's and you're slagging the people that work at McDonald's? Because they're getting what? They're not getting much. But you're running about with your £300 and £400 trainers and all this work. But it does crumble when it comes to an end. But see the people in McDonald's, that's just a wee starting job for them. And they go in and they're the ones that's laughing at yous. It's all running about fucking shooting each other and fucking getting to jail for banks and drugs and fuck noise with. I've sold every fucking bit of it. I've been involved in every bit of it, you know what I mean? And as I say, I'm still here, I've got 2 kids, and it's just the way the cricket comes. But I'm not here to preach and all that, I'm just trying to say, look, because they really, and people have said it, really, do the young ones listen? Because I'm not going to be a hypocrite here. See, when I was younger, I'm going to be truthful, I didn't listen. I was in a proof school, Boston, older people school like that, and money, and I didn't bother me. So I don't know if that's the way the young team think they know, but now it is more violent and all that, you know what I mean? Way back then it was violent, but now you get, you get shot now for bumping somebody or whatever, and people's getting shot and that, they're not going to pay much for it, you know what I mean? It is a dangerous fucking career to embark on, and I'm just trying to say, see if you can get a job or that, if you can, because it's only going to end in 2 ways, and I'm just going to finish up here. It's going to be the grave, a stabbed, or a prison. So enjoyed doing this wee video. tonight, and I'm like my wee life to now with the kids and that. There's a lot of people over the years, a lot of my pals have been killed and all that as well, and died, you know what I mean? And I go like, fuck, I'm still here, you know what I mean? And so I do think a lot about that. I do think a lot of that in my life. I'm very, very lucky. So I'll finish up now, and if you take anything for this, well, it's a step in the right direction. So see you later. Bye.